best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
Hello everyone, you're welcome to Biology Video Lectures with Akirinde Oladimiji Philip. How has been your week? It's good to have you back. Now we are moving on to Aves. That's the second to the last class. We'll be talking about under subphylum Vertebrata, which is under the bigger phylum Chordata. So the first thing we need to understand is that they are homeotherms. So they are the first set of organisms underneath this whole category to be what? Homeotherms. And when you say something is homeotherm, it means they are what? They exhibit what we call homeostasis, which means maintaining of body temperature to a fairly constant state. Alright? Now, moving on. And before you guys understand, they are also, it means they are endothermal. Endothermal means that they form their temperature from within. Now, their entire body is covered with feathers, except their hind limb, which is covered with scales, and which I have drawn that for you, but you must have seen it before. Now, there is this question that I've seen sometimes ago that says that what is the evidence that apes evolved from reptiles? And the answer to that is that presence of scales on their limbs. So they still have, so according to evolution, that means there's still a presence of where they were coming from on them. So the whole body is covered with feathers. Now before I leave that, let me quickly talk about feathers. Now birds or chickens have feathers. The first one they have is there's something called flight feathers. Then we have covert feathers. Then you have phylloplums. Alright, now then down feathers. Now pay attention. For this flight feather, that's where you have your quill. That's what they use for flight. These covert feathers and down feathers are the ones that cover their body for warmth, to keep them warm. Alright? When you take all of that out, if you have never seen a chicken before, probably you slaughter a chicken and you take all the feathers on the body, you will see there are some few feathers, not like feathers, they look like hair left on the body. That feather is called phylloplums. Alright? So these are the feathers they have. So this one is for flight. That's the one that you find around their tail, around their wings. Alright? Then these covert and down feathers are found on the body. Then when you approach the one on the body, then those ones are like hair-like are the phylloplums. So that's what I want to say about feathers. Now they have two pairs of limbs. Now yes, limbs. Even though they only use two to walk, they use the second one for flight. So they have upper limb, which is modified to what? Feathers, and lower limb, which is modified for what? For standing when they land from their flight. Now let's move on. Now they have beak without teeth. Yes, they have beak. That's what they use to feed. Now let's quickly digress a little bit. The beak of a bird or of an ave varies based on what they feed on. For example, if a bird is a carnivore, the beak must be bent and curved. Alright, so once you can tell what a bird feeds on by looking at the beak. For example, the beak of sorry, I'm not so good at this, of a what's it called, of an eagle sometimes look hooked that way, and it's not all that perfect. So most time when you see hooked beak, that means that bird eats flesh, like beak of eagle or hawk. Alright, then when you see a long narrow beak as, let's say, a long coiled narrow beak like this, that's not narrow enough. I wish I could draw it. Like some bird, they use it for feeding on what? Nectars. So long narrow beak that is coil or bent. Then we have this long and sharp. That one could be for what's it called? Fish eater, as is found in kingfisher. There's a bird called kingfisher. The mouth is wide and long, and when it's very short, most time they are short. I mean, just short. They are seed eaters, as you find in what's it called? In common household fowl and chicken, as it were. Then if it is flat, then you can know that they are filter feeders, as found in dogs. The mouth of a dog is adapted to sieve out living organisms while moving through water. If you have ever seen a dog in dirty flowing water before, as they use their mouth to do that, so they are called filter feeders. They filter out food from a dirty or flowing water, as it were. Alright, so they don't have teeth, but their beak is adapted for different food that they eat. Now they possess pneumatic bones. Or say pneumatic of bones. What does that mean? It means their bones have holes in it. What is the aim of having holes in it? It gives them what? Makes them light. One adaptation of birds is that for them to be able to fly and stay afloat in the air, they must be light. I mean, not heavy. So their bones have air in it, so it makes them light. So the meaning of pneumatic bones is that their bones have air in it. Number one. Number two is that, please take note of this point I'm saying. That in case you ask what are the adaptations that make a bird adapted for flight. Number one is they have pneumatic bones. Number two is that these pneumatic bones, those holes in the bones, are connected to a structure in them called air bladder. Alright, air bladder. I mean, it contains air. Number three is that Aves, they don't have urinary bladder. Hello? What they have is they don't have urinary bladder at all, so to say. They have kidney. So instead of having to store their urine in a bladder, their urine is converted to a uric salt, which will come out with their feces. That's why you will never see a bird or a chicken urinate. What comes out will be a fluid and some feces with it together. So bear that in mind that they don't have urinary bladder. That's number three thing that makes them light. Number four thing is that most other organisms have two ovaries, but chickens, Aves, have only one ovary. There might be exception to that, but so one ovary makes them lighter as having. So please take note of these 4 points that makes birds adapted for flight. They have 4 complete chamber. Yes, they are the first to have 4 complete chamber. That means 2 auricles, 2 ventricles. Oh, I'm sorry, I've encroached this diagram here. That means they have something like this. Sorry, that's not all that perfect, but let's look at it this way. Yes, it's completely formed. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this is one auricle, ventricle, completely formed. The blood does not mix up there. Now, their reproduction is sexual and their fertilization is what? Internal. Yes, they have cloaca. They will, just like reptiles do their own, they will mate on each other. You must have probably seen a chicken mate before. Alright, so they have a fertilization, so the egg will be fertilized inside of them, and the egg look somewhat like this. I'm sorry if I've actually spot our this diagram here. So this is an egg of a chicken. Now the thing is, pay attention to that. This shell is calcified. There's calcium in it, so it's hard. But in reptiles, it's not hard, it's leathery. Alright? So this one is calcified in a way. It also has air space. You can see here, the function of the chalaza is to hold the yolk in place. While this germinal disc will develop to form the embryo. Then in case I ask, what's the function of albumen? Albumen is to sustain the embryo. Embryo is meant to sustain the what? The developing the yolk is meant to sustain the developing embryo. So the more the albumen, the more the egg can survive in any weather. What do I mean? Because albumen, in case I answer, what is the storage part of the egg? Is the albumen. The more the albumen is, the more energy available for the embryo to grow when it's time for it to grow. Alright? While this yolk will form, part of it will form allantois, chromium, and chromium and all of that. So like I said, they are oviparous and they exhibit what? Fertilization. Then I already explained that they have lungs which are used for exchange of for exchange of gases, and they have this thing Yes, that reminds me. One thing they do is that their airflow is in one way. What do I mean? We breathe in and out. Theirs is just one way. You just breathe in. Now I wish I can explain that in total, because I just explained that their pneumatic bones are connected to what? To air sac. So air moves only in one direction. It comes in through the body. Not through the body, I mean to say it comes in through the nostrils, then goes out the same way. Now let me break it down this way. Now when we say it moves in one direction, they don't have what we would expect to be a complete cycle of inhalation and expiration. So their breath rate is just one flow. I mean the air flows in one direction, so to say. All right, I will explain that later on. Now they show parental care for their young ones. Now this is common to almost all birds, almost to all Aves. They exhibit what we call parental care. Almost chickens will sit on their egg, all right, to get it matured, and they still guide them till they get to a particular maturity, a particular mature level. Now examples of these of Aves are what you can see on the board here. And the last I want to say is that they don't have, I don't write that here, they don't have external pinna. What they have is just, they have what is it called, auditory structure there. It is there, but there's external air, but there's no pinna for collection of sound waves as we have in mammals and all. I mean majorly in mammals. I think it's only mammals that have pinna, but what they have is just impression of auditory structure. I think that will be all for now. Feel free to please drop your comment. Probably there's something you're not so clear about. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you.